He bought his first stock at age 11 and regretted waiting that long. He turned $10,000 into over $100 billion without creating a tech empire, launching a rocket, or starting an internet company. Warren Buffett didn't move fast, he moved right. While the world chased trends, he mastered time. This is the story of how the quietest man in the room became the greatest investor who ever lived. Welcome to Mansa Musa Moat, the boy who read Wall Street. Warren Buffett was born in 1930 in Omaha, Nebraska, during the Great Depression. While other kids played ball or traded cards, Warren read numbers. By age 7, he was devouring every finance book in his library. By 11, he made his first investment, buying 3 shares of City Service Preferred at $38 each. The stock dropped to $27. Most kids would have panicked. Warren didn't. He held on. It climbed back up to $40, and he sold, proud of his tiny profit. But then, it kept rising to over $200. That one moment etched a lifelong lesson into Buffett's brain. Be patient. Let your winners run. He started reading The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham over and over. Graham wasn't flashy. He didn't gamble. He invested with logic, discipline, and a margin of safety. That became Warren's Bible. By the time he finished college, Buffett wasn't dreaming of yachts or sports cars. He wanted to build a fortune slowly, quietly, and unshakably. And he'd do it using one superpower: compound interest. The young money machine. After graduating from Columbia University, where he studied under Ben Graham himself, Buffett tried to work for his mentor. Graham initially said no, until Buffett wore him down with relentless determination. Finally, Graham said yes. For a few years, Buffett learned directly from the master. He picked stocks like a detective solving crimes, digging through balance sheets, looking for undervalued companies the market had ignored. By age 26, Warren had saved about $140,000. In today's dollars, over $1.4 million. He returned to Omaha and launched Buffett Partnership Limited with family and friends. He wasn't chasing hot trends. He wasn't building a company. He was doing something slower and deadlier. He was compounding. In his early partnership years, Buffett outperformed nearly every investor on earth, year after year. His secret? He wasn't smarter. He just had a strategy no one else had the patience for. He once said, "The stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient." The Value King. In 1962, Buffett took a controlling stake in a struggling textile company called Berkshire Hathaway. At first, it was just another investment. But when the company's management tried to cheat him during a buyback, Buffett got angry and took over completely. Ironically, that bad investment became the most important move of his life. Over the next few decades, he transformed Berkshire Hathaway into a holding company. Instead of fixing the textile business, he used it as a vehicle to buy better companies. He bought insurance firms like GEICO because they gave him something powerful: float, money from policyholders that could be invested before any claims were paid. That float became the fuel for an empire. He bought companies like See's Candies, The Washington Post, Coca-Cola, American Express, not because they were cheap, but because they had moats, competitive advantages, customer loyalty, great management. Buffett once said, "It's far better to buy a wonderful company at a fair price than a fair company at a wonderful price." He evolved from Graham's strict bargain hunting to his own hybrid approach, value with quality. He wasn't just finding deals, he was finding dynasties. The partnership of a lifetime. In 1978, Warren Buffett brought on his lifelong friend and intellectual partner, Charlie Munger. While Buffett mastered numbers and discipline, Munger added philosophical depth, razor-sharp wit, and a wider lens of thinking. Together, they created a rare kind of synergy, two minds that didn't just complement each other, but elevated each other's thinking. Munger challenged Buffett to shift from buying cheap companies to acquiring great businesses at fair prices, ones with durable moats and visionary leadership. Their decision-making was slow, thoughtful, and often contrarian. They avoided the tech frenzy of the late 90s, sidestepped hype, and stuck to timeless principles. While others chased the future, Buffett and Munger quietly built one, brick by brick, deal by deal, billion by billion. Their partnership became legendary, not because of how flashy it was, but because of how enduring and effective it remained over decades. The crisis and the calm. When markets panic, Warren Buffett stays calm. In 2008, while global financial systems teetered on the edge and Wall Street descended into chaos, Buffett didn't flinch. He penned a now iconic op-ed in the New York Times, "Buy American, I am." While hedge funds collapsed and investors fled to safety, Buffett invested billions into Goldman Sachs and Bank of America, grabbing deals others were too scared to touch. That's what made him different. He didn't try to outrun financial storms. He waited for them. He welcomed them. Buffett believed that real wealth was built not during booms, but in busts. When assets were cheap, fear was high, and everyone else had lost their nerve. He once said, "Be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful." That simple philosophy turned him into the Oracle of Omaha, because while others chased noise, he listened for signals, and when the world was on fire, Buffett calmly walked in with a checkbook, not a fire hose. The billionaire next door. Despite his immense fortune, Warren Buffett never succumbed to extravagance. He still lives in the modest Omaha home he bought in 1958 for $31,500. No bodyguards, no private island retreats. His daily routine? A drive-through stop at McDonald's. His breakfast cost often depending on the stock market's mood that day. He guzzles Coca-Cola, reads obsessively, and spends hours playing bridge, sometimes with Bill Gates. He wears cheap suits, uses a flip phone, and avoids technology he doesn't understand. To Buffett, money isn't for showing off. It's a tool, a byproduct of doing what you love well. He's pledged to give away over 99% of his wealth and co-founded the Giving Pledge to encourage other billionaires to do the same. While others chase status, Buffett chases simplicity. He believes real wealth lies in clarity, not clutter. Chains of habit are too light to be felt until they are too heavy to be broken, he once said. And that's how he built Berkshire Hathaway, a towering empire rooted in discipline, not drama. The slowest empire ever built. Warren Buffett didn't invent a product, code an app, or ride the wave of a social media frenzy. He didn't hustle for headlines or chase overnight success. Instead, he mastered the rare art of patience. He read voraciously, hundreds of pages a day, searching for timeless truths hidden in balance sheets and business models. He treated investing like a marathon, not a sprint. While the world obsessed over quarterly earnings, Buffett thought in decades. His greatest skill? Doing nothing until the perfect opportunity came along. He didn't chase money, he let money come to him. And most of his fortune? It came after age 60, thanks to the silent magic of compounding. Had he retired early, he'd be rich, but not iconic. But because he stayed in the game, year after year, decade after decade, he became a legend. Buffett didn't build the fastest empire. He built the most inevitable one, slow, steady, unstoppable. The final lessons. Buffett's life is a masterclass in simplicity, an antidote to the chaos of modern ambition. He doesn't chase shiny objects. He wakes up every day doing what he loves, surrounded by people he trusts. His daily routine includes hours of reading, because to him, knowledge compounds just like money. He urges people to be lifelong learners, to invest in their minds before markets. Buffett never touches credit card debt and warns against emotional decisions in money and life. He's not impressed by IQ alone. He values temperament, integrity, and discipline. He says success is about saying no more than yes, and choosing long-term peace over short-term gain. His most powerful advice isn't a financial formula, it's a way of living. Be patient, be consistent, think independently, and never underestimate the quiet power of time. In a world obsessed with shortcuts, Warren Buffett's legacy proves that wisdom, character, and delayed gratification are the real compounding assets. Warren Buffett didn't just build wealth, he built wisdom. In a world full of noise, hype, and distraction, he proved the power of quiet mastery, long-term thinking, and consistent discipline. So the real question is, what are you rushing for? At Mansa Musa Mode, we don't just chase stories, we study strategies behind the world's greatest minds. If you found value in this video, subscribe to the Mansa Musa Mode YouTube channel, hit the like button, and drop a comment telling us who you'd like us to break down next. Stay wise, stay wealthy, and as always, stay in Mansa Musa Mode.